Today, we're not talking about guitars at all. So this could be a video about the Kingsong S22. And if you don't know what that is, you'll see. Because you might not know, whenever I have time, which is never, the one thing I found a couple years ago is electric toys. And not the brrrr, what you're thinking. I bought a little scooter and I enjoyed that. And then I bought a tiny little, 9-bot one or whatever, electric unicycle. Really hard to ride, fell on my ass a lot. But so much fun. I have an e-bike, electric go-kart from 9-bot, the 9-bot Elite, which is the Segway. And then I saw that 9-bot had a Z10. That was 40 kilometers an hour, 100 kilometer range. Completely insane. I said, whoever buys that is a total idiot. This idiot bought it. And it was completely different to ride than the little one. Completely different weight distribution, low to the ground, but for 3 years now, I've been loving the shit out of it. Never fell on my ass. Have been doing massive trips with it. I discovered the whole area in a way that I'd never seen my hometown and, the cities around it. I love that thing. That's what I do whenever I have time, when I don't do videos, which is never. I haven't been on my Z10 in quite a while. But I thought if I buy a new one, there's a good reason to get the fuck out and, see places, even though I'm organizing Gear Street happening in August and all that stuff. So when I saw that they're making them with shocks, I was like, I gotta have that. I gotta have that because you're standing on the axle on these electric unicycles, and every bump in the road, your knees are the shocks. If you go down a little curb or whatever, your teeth are the shocks. You actually have to open your mouth when you do that, or your teeth go, ow. You literally can bite your tongue off doing that. So you gotta be careful. So, gas shocks, like on a big mountain bike, I was like, I'm in. And I saw the Kingsong S22. I'm like, order. Well, I didn't know that people had already ordered some in December and they were still not released. I think I ordered mine, 3 months ago, which is May? No. Earlier. Whatever. And I tried to find a shop that had them or where you could pre-order. And I found a shop called oneride.eu. Everyone kind of had similar prices. And I contacted oneride.eu and said, I want to order this. But how is this happening? When's it coming and all this? And first, this is technically about the unicycle, but it's actually more about that shop. First contact was with a chat bot, but it wasn't a chat bot. It was Julia, who was super nice. And I said, well, can you knock $100 off? I'll make a nice unboxing video for you and I say nice things about you. And she knocked $100 off. That was easy. But that's not why I'm making this video. Because the stuff that happened afterwards. That's why. Okay, paid the damn thing. And I didn't need it tomorrow. Whenever it was here, it was going to be here. Of course, I was getting more and more excited. Well, getting emails. The people that ordered from oneride.eu, which I think is in Latvia? Riga? Something like this. Way up there in the north. And they kept us so informed about what was happening, what the factory was doing, what the process of shipping was. They showed us pictures of the boxes in China, in Shenzhen. And then apparently they all arrived in Riga, but they had to all be shipped back to be upgraded. There was something wrong with the hardware. Apparently they were burning or something like that. And they didn't just tell us, be patient. They showed us the shipping documents, the text messages with the factory. They were so transparent. They made us videos of the one that they unboxed. The guy from oneride tested it, told us the pros, the cons, everything. Mind-blowing service. I've rarely dealt with a company this far away from where I am that I had no relationship with that took such good care of us. Then they arrived, and instead of just taking those huge boxes and shipping them directly to the customer for the customer then to deal with, all the bullshit, they checked every single one. These things are 38 kilo. They weighed them for us. They checked every single one, pumped up the tires, It charged the batteries, updated the software, which took an hour. They did everything for us so that when they arrived, we didn't have to deal with any of this. Then...
Hello guys, my name is Julia, I'm from oneride. Thank you for your patience. Finally, Kingsong S22 have arrived.
Paul, I think the owner of the shop, sent out an email saying, look, I've got a couple of spare power supplies. And I rode it for 200 kilometers with a little charge in the middle. But I used these extra pads, which I have 2 of that I bought. If you want them first come, first served, I'm immediately like, I'm getting it. And I bought it in green because that's the color that least matches red. So, you know, unless you're, of course, colorblind, then it's all the same color. And he said, no, really, these pads are much better. So it's pretty much the pad where your legs are in on top. And when you're pushing back and forth, you've got more support. And that damn thing was $250. But I said, look, Paul, I trust you. You've taken such good care of us. I'll buy this. And I bought the extra power supply as well, because who knows if one breaks, where do I get another power supply for a Kingsong S22, which was so hard to get anyway. Let's do this. Let's take it out of the box.
Of doom. I should have seen this coming from the start. Too many forces tearing us apart. But no matter the blow, I'm not.
So that was already fun. I had no idea where the pads go. They have to stick on. Kingsong's documentation is total shit. The manual is not helpful. There's no pictures. I guess you have to figure it out for yourself. Unless you're buying from oneride.eu. Because I couldn't even sign in. I'm still not signed up in the Kingsong app. I don't know how to sign up for an account. I've tried. Verification by phone or email. Can't make it happen. Kingsong, please get in touch with me. Let me know how I sign up with you guys. So I get on the little chat bot. There's Julia again. Answering, oh no, this goes there, sending me pictures of how things go. I've never dealt with a company, and I deal with companies daily, that take such good care of their customers. Maybe they have to because they're so far away. But oh my God, these are electric unicycle nerds selling to electric unicycle nerds, and it immediately feels like they're family and they're trying to help you out. Fantastic. Now I took a ride this morning with it. It's very different than my Z10. Because on my Z10, you're relatively low to the ground, about this far off the ground. And here, you're in the middle of the axle, you're relatively high up. It's a very different riding. It feels much less stable. The thing can go 70 kilometers an hour, 200 kilometer range. Now, of course, if you're interested in this is not an S22 review. There are several out there from electric unicycle channels. I am not one. I have only experience with the 9bot1 or whatever it's called and the Z10. So I can't really compare it to others. And I've done 2 trips. Now, in 3 years on my Z10, I've never had a crash. On the S22, I did. It is less stable, or at least I'm not used to the height. I'm not used to cornering. Going straight, not a problem. Going slow and turning is difficult for me right now. I think I really have to get used to it. And I took a pretty hard fall. Luckily, and that's the thing, when you're getting into electric unicycles, you need a good helmet. I have an expensive Bell downhill helmet with chin guard. And the jacket I'm wearing, even though it's freaking hot here in Germany, is actually padded and it's made from Kevlar. So that's never gonna rip, so you're never gonna get scrapes. And that fall that you see, not a problem at all. I just got up, was a little bit shaken, but went on. Getting on the new thing is difficult for me because it's so high. I don't have the technique down yet to get on. And on the gravel road, I tried to get on, immediately fell off. So the speed was 0. Get on, fall off. Then, of course, the wheel goes brand new €3,000 wheel and goes in the gravel. Good times. And so I got off and scraped my knee in the gravel. It's cool. I kind of feel like a 12-year-old again. You know, it hurts, but sometimes maybe remind yourself that the work can be fun and painful. So I'm struggling with it a little bit in terms of riding it, but you know what? That was exactly the same with the others. They all ride differently. They got a different kind of height and different weight distribution. It is with pleasure that I'm telling you about oneride.eu. If you're in the market for a scooter or an electric unicycle, deal with these people. I'm pretty sure they're up there in Riga. They need the business. And I have never dealt with a company where I felt so well taken care of. And hearing that it would take another 4 or 6 weeks to get the unicycle didn't bother me because they informed me so well. They did videos. It's personal. You see the people. What a great company. About electric unicycles in general. If you're saying, well, I have an e-bike and that's fun, fuck that. That's got 2 wheels. That has nothing to do. I mean, it's fun, okay? I got a great cube bike, like riding it, but I love riding my unicycle. It's just a different kind of thing. It's so free. It is so much fun. The range, 200-kilometer range, which means realistically you can probably do 150 kilometers. I can go from here to Limburg to Gießen, which doesn't tell you anything, and come back. I will go on big trips to discover the area. It's really the thing that gets me out of the house. So if you have the cash to buy one, if you have the dare, if you dare to spend the time learning to ride one, because it does take time. This is not a understand it in a day or two. To really master my Z10, it was probably 3 months. And now I'm looking at least a couple of weeks to really get the S22 to work for me. Now, what you can see in the video is the S22 has that shock. And riding over a meadow, over bumps or whatever, is so different because the only shock that the Z10 has is the air in the tire. And here, riding over a bumpy meadow, nothing. Riding over the curb, nothing. That is all a lot easier. Again, standing up that high, narrower wheel, going left and right. I'm very insecure on it now. Still. But that's going to get better. So, I got my new toy. Hopefully, I will survive long enough to pull off Gear Street. If not, my friends will do it. Robin, Tony, Michiel, Andrew, you know, the whole team. You guys will pull it off without me, I know. And they're already dividing up my guitars in here, the fuckers. That's them. Thanks for watching. I'm sorry that wasn't about guitars, but it was about the other thing I do when I have time, which I don't. And a big thank you to oneride.eu, who took so good care of me. I didn't make this video because you knocked off $100 off the wheel. I did it because I'm truly impressed with your team and what you've done. And if you guys are in the market in Europe for an electric unicycle, do not fear that it is coming from Latvia. Okay? That's not a problem. They shipped it Friday, it arrived Wednesday. The distance is not a problem if you have a company that is so fucking good. Thanks, guys. We put animals at the end as always.
You believe it's worth it? We're tired of fighting, breaking our hearts, and everything we worship. It's reducing to rubble and falling apart. Let's not go back to where we started. You believe it's over. It hasn't been like before, and I don't think it will. It's time to slowly get sober. Like an addict who long for the magical pill. Let's not go back to where we